Monk, voice calm. Sit with me for a moment. Not because I have all the answers, but because I've lived long enough to understand the questions. There was a time in my life when I believed strength came from having many options. Many plans, many people, many places to run when life became loud. But the older I became, the more I realized something strange, almost paradoxical. The more options you chase, the more lost you become. And one day, like a whisper carried by the wind, a truth settled in my heart. I want God to be my only option, and forgiveness my last action. It sounded dramatic, even foolish. Almost like something the Joker would laugh about. So, you put all your trust in one thing? Bold. Dangerous. But freeing. The funny thing is, that madman had a point. Because when you strip life down to its essence, you realize that clarity doesn't come from having everything, but from trusting something greater than yourself. When God becomes your only option, life becomes simple, not easy, but simple. Suddenly your heart stops bargaining, your mind stops running, and your soul stops negotiating with fear. You begin to walk differently. You stop rushing. You stop comparing. You stop begging for the approval of people who don't even approve of themselves. You start to understand that peace isn't found in the answers. Peace is found in the surrender. I learned this lesson the hard way. Years ago, a friend betrayed me, deeply. The kind of betrayal that makes your heart's quiet places feel loud. The kind that makes your prayers feel heavy. I wanted revenge. I wanted justice. I wanted an apology carved into the sky. But every time I fed the anger, I was the one who felt poisoned. One night, as I sat alone in meditation, I remembered something my old master said. Forgiveness is not the reward you give others. It is the freedom you give yourself. And so, after many stubborn breaths, I forgave him. Not because he deserved it, but because I deserved peace. Forgiveness became my last action. Not because I am holy, but because holding on was too heavy for the journey ahead. And that's what I want you to understand today. When you make God your only option, you're not giving up control. You're giving up the illusion of control. You begin to see life in its raw truth. People will hurt you. People will misunderstand you. People will leave when you need them most. But God stays. Peace stays. Growth stays. And when forgiveness becomes your last action, you break a chain that generations before you carried. Anger that wasn't yours. Pain that didn't belong to you. Stories you didn't need to repeat. Forgiveness is the act of putting down what was never yours to hold. So today, I invite you to breathe. Slowly. Deeply. Honestly. Ask yourself, who am I when the world goes silent? What do I value when no one is watching? And where do I place my trust when life stops giving me choices? You don't need many options. You need the right direction. You need a still heart. You need a purpose that doesn't crumble when storms arrive. And sometimes, you need to forgive one last time so you can finally move forward. So walk gently. Trust deeply. Forgive wisely. And remember, a soul that chooses God as its only option will never run out of strength. And a heart that chooses forgiveness as its last action will never run out of peace. Monk, whisper, may you find the courage to choose both. YouTube description, engaging plus call to action. Step into a moment of peace with today's message. I want God to be my only option, forgiveness my last action. In this calm and reflective talk, a monk shares powerful wisdom about trust, healing, surrender, and inner peace. With paradoxical insights and gentle storytelling, he reveals how choosing God simplifies life and how choosing forgiveness frees the soul. If you've been struggling with betrayal, pressure, confusion, or emotional weight, this message is for you. Let it guide you back to clarity, calm, and purpose. Folded hands if this video brought you peace, like, subscribe, and comment I choose peace. Your engagement helps this channel share more wisdom with the world. Bell turn on notifications for weekly videos on self-reflection, inner strength, and spiritual growth. Red heart share this video with someone who needs healing today.